Response video on the education subject to the irritating antagonist. I think Ron Paul is smart. I hate saying that. I have to call him something else. Anyway, okay, so he didn't watch the Steph Bot video, which I think should have been his obligation, as he has a philosophy sympathetic to that asshole. And I'm not the one, I shouldn't be the only one, forced to endure his videos. But anyway, to the point. So he counters the argument that if we went to an all-private education system, that there wouldn't be this problem of transportation. And he even concedes that he had that problem. I mean, in my grammar school, yeah, I had to drive a 40-minute trip, 20 minutes waiting at the bus stop, right, an hour of my day wasted. 2 hours there and back. For a public school. And private school would be even worse. What good private school is going to open up in Harlem? It's not going to happen. It's just an elitist prescription for disaster. Point me to any non-classist society that has ever thrived on private education. There is no such thing. It's an idiotic notion, can't be done, it's stupid. Won't serve the public interest one friggin' bit. So it's stupid. Not even going to go there. So let's go how far, and then, the whole idea of, and if we subsidize these private institutions, which would be even more obscene with public money, then you have issues. I'm not going to, no person should be obliged to pay for religious instruction. So all those private schools have to be out of the picture. And I've seen, these. Well, anyway, private institutions. There's no way to make a fair comparison. What's the average IQ score for the average private school attendee? All right, private schools notoriously do not accept the hard cases, and those are the ones public school gets stuck with, and that's what degrades the public schools. Everybody knows the syndrome. Everybody knows the truth, and so it's just bullshit to think that there's going to be some private enterprise solution. It's just bullshit. So anyway, to get to the more important subjects, so you made some point about it being off base, or that unthought out, or the rest of it, because I suggested this, that we take this money that we're spending anyway, and that's the presumption that if we're willing to spend the money now, I'm just saying let's spend it more efficiently. We can cut the cost by 1/3 at least, and at the same time provide a huge incentive. And the whole point of the incentive is that it will encourage the very people who are not participating productively in the education system now, the poor. Those would be the people that would have the greatest incentive. And the argument that it should be given to the parents, well, that would be just plain bullshit. Why would you give money to rotten parents? That would be stupid. We've seen there's plenty of parents that absolutely suck. They would just take the money that the kid earned and squander it. So fuck that. Any kid who's done the work to earn the money is going to appreciate and value the money. If they squander it, that'll be their decision. But I think if they've passed the high school equivalency, if they've read Moby Dick and Tale of Two Cities and a few other novels of the 20th century, maybe they'll have the character to know what a dollar means and to have some appreciation for the money. And I think that will be the fact. Any kid who's worked at all as a kid, they already learn what a dollar means. I know what a dollar was when I was 11 years old. So it's bullshit to say that the incentive would be wasted on kids. Anyway, the other point you made, why taxing the parents for, no, that's not the way it works now. Okay, property taxes are paid by people who don't have any kids. If you're in this town and you rent a house, you don't have any children, you're going to pay $10,000 in taxes for other people's fucking kids. For arrogant little fuckers like you. That's the irony, is people who are obliged to subsidize an education system that produces kids like you, all right, who have no fucking common sense, and who think the world can be run on the invisible hand of greed and selfishness. Well, that's just bullshit. because the fact is that the money is coming from people who don't have kids. That's the whole point. The tax base doesn't take the money from the assholes who have the children. No, it takes the money from everybody. And the idea that there is a social responsibility to educate kids is something I agree with. I think we should tax for that purpose. I'm just suggesting we should do it. We have an obligation to do it more efficiently. The obligation isn't to socialize kids. The obligation isn't to provide training camps for professional sports or any other bullshit. The social obligation is to create children, to create human beings that have enough knowledge and wisdom to behave productively. And that's the social obligation, and to maximize the accomplishment of creating these human beings. That's why I suggested what I have suggested. All right, that's why I think that the incentive should be in the hands of kids, not in the hands of a bunch of artifacts in school systems who just walk through their day year after year. You know, there's teachers here that have been doing it for 30 years. They probably don't even know how to use a friggin' computer effectively, and yet we're paying them $100,000 a year, and it's nonsense. Beyond that, the idea of privatizing, as soon as you put, like I said, you said, oh yeah, it's available on the internet now. No, it isn't. You got to pay for it. So the point is we're going to pay the price, and why don't the public just pay it once? Just pay the price once. Build one federal school. Pay the teachers the highest wage in the universe. Give them all $300,000 per teacher to teach in that one school. Guarantee that we'll have the best teachers in the United States of America working in that school. From, let's say, 6th grade to advanced master's degrees college in that one school. Okay? Pay them the highest salaries, get the very best people possible, and you just videotape everything that comes out of their mouth. Every educational performance they put on, we videotape it, and we provide the content free of charge on the internet and on cable television. Anybody can acquire the information at their leisure. And then we create a standardized testing system to acquire degrees. It's that simple. You know, there's no obstacle to creating you know, say a 5,000 question test, of which you only use, you know, 500 of the questions per test in evaluating a high school diploma or whatever the equivalency is. Advanced degrees, the same thing. It's all a matter of knowing the content. And so it's all we'd have to pay for is this one institution, and then pay to have the tests examined and graded. And that's it. That would be the cost of the fucking system. And I would stake my welfare, my personal welfare. You could run me over with a steamroller if I'm wrong. I say if this was implemented in the United States of America in 5 years, IQs would go up 20% on average. I'd say you'd have the dropout rate would almost become non-existent, because everybody would have an incentive. And like I said, if you gave away degrees in terms of the fact that people could acquire it at their own pace, at their own time, you know, we could all, if I wanted to decide to be you know, to learn neurosurgery, well, I should be able to just, you know, dial it up on the internet. I want to become a lawyer, well, I should be able to dial it up on the internet. If I want to spend next 10 years, 2 hours a night acquiring that degree, then that's my business. But it should be free to everyone in the society. The society can only gain by making the information free. It breaks this stupid union, that they have a copyright. They have claimed a copyright on knowledge. The educational institution is bullshit. It is a racket. It is an artifact, and it is costing us. It is a detriment to our social progress. It's just common sense. Everybody knows redundancy is stupid. There's absolutely no reason to ever permit something to be done redundantly, to pay for redundancy. It's idiotic. And there's nothing special about the performance art You know what I'm saying? A movie is just as good as a Broadway play. We don't need live fucking actors. Most people would say the movie is even better, and that would be my argument, is that by creating good video, well edited, we can make the instruction even better. So anyway, your argument is all crap. Privatization is bullshit. Ads are bullshit. Marketing is bullshit. It's all a waste of energy, a waste of value. It creates a crooked bend in the line between production and consumption. Okay, capitalism just makes that line crooked, and anytime you make that line crooked, you committed inefficiency. All right, and that's the bullshit you're advocating.